What is going on, All Terrain Nation? Today on the show, do not adjust your dial on this thing. This is Mr. Pickup Truck Plus SUV talk himself, Tim Esterthal. What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
Good. And we have the new Jeep in front of us, and I thought, who better to talk trucks with than the Truck King himself? Wait, that's a different channel. But the guy that I look for information on pickup trucks, Tim here. And Tim, what do we have in front of us?
This is the new Jeep Gladiator 2024 edition, Rubicon X. We have the high velocity yellow. We have some changes up front with a new grille that matches the Wrangler. You may hear us say the word Wrangler a lot in this video because it's a little bit copy and paste.
Yeah.
So
it's basically the same vehicle except underpinnings. But I like that they've kind of squished this down a little bit. I don't know if it's to compete with the Bronco because everybody likes that Bronco look. I don't know if Jeep's like, hey, maybe we don't need that big flat front end anymore, or if it's actually for aerodynamical reasons that they're doing this.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it looks good. I think the change is, evolutionary, not revolutionary, which I think is smart for Jeep customers.
Yeah.
Nothing really new on that one. The Rubicon X is really cool. I was talking with, and I saw the reveal, was it last week in Detroit, whatever the deal was, 2 weeks ago, what the deal was. And it was really kind of clear to me, this is your rock crawler.
Yes.
Where the Mojave X is going to be your desert runner.
Yes.
So that's why we see some differences. We see not so many differences, but we have the steel bumper, which is really important for rock crawling. Because you're going to beat this up.
But this used to be packages you could add on, and now they're just like, no, let's do an X trim of it, and forget adding that on. Just either you want the Rubicon or an X. No, the Rubicon's the way to go for rock crawling, especially for, I think, Overlander guy. I think this is perfect for Overlander guy. Front and rear lockers, you're getting Dana 44s on it. The new float axles, I believe, on this here. So there's a lot of features you're getting, but the prices also went up accordingly, and the pricing's not just out just yet. But overall, I like this vehicle. So Kelly, let's walk around this way because I'm curious. Any changes? Obviously, being a Rubicon, you're getting the high clearance fenders. 33-inch tires on this thing.
Yeah, I think these are new wheel designs for them, if I recall correctly. We singed off the antenna. No antenna there anymore. It's actually the lines that's in the windshield. It's a built-in antenna.
Which is very controversial.
It is.
Because owners know you're replacing a dozen windows, right?
Well, yeah, and that's the new Gorilla Glass, too.
Yes.
With the built-in antenna. That's not going to be a cheap windshield replace.
No.
And it was interesting, so I'll ask you this, because you had a Gladiator. Mm-hmm. Jeep's reasoning was, they wanted to get rid of this because it got beat up on trails, that kind of stuff. The antenna
Never had a problem with it.
And then they said you can't fold down the windshield because you have this in there. And I'm like, I see pictures of people with windshields down. I've never seen a person do it.
I wanted to do a video of actually taking the window down because I've seen pictures of it, but I wanted
I've never
to
seen anybody do it.
But why would you ever want that down?
And then I'm thinking to myself, like, this antenna, I use my fingers here because on my trucks, I literally can take my fingers or a little bit of a tool I keep in the glove box and just unscrew the antenna. Like, it's super easy.
So the antenna was bolted on the side.
Oh, was it bolted on the side?
With the antenna on the side, though, it didn't bother me. I bought a little stubby antenna because I don't listen to radio like most people. I don't think people listen to radio anymore.
No, I think it's all.
I think that was low-hanging fruit for them to let's kill it. If people need it,
it makes production easier too in the plant factory side. It's one piece of stamp fender instead of having a hole in there. I mean, I can get it. I mean, but I guess it was. You're right. It was here. I always think here, but even sticking up, I'm like, I don't. Yeah. I didn't understand that one, and I don't know that if there's any difference. I mean, it doesn't mean. Yeah. I had the Wrangler that had it, and I used streamed up my phone. Or I use Sirius XM. I never turn the radio.
As far as this is just some stupid tradition that I know, and I say stupid in a positive manner, but it's just a goofy tradition that Jeep enthusiasts love but never use. So at some point, Jeep will go away with this. The grille and all is changing, so get ready. This, I think, next generation, if the Gladiator gets next generation, that's a whole nother if. But I think next generation Wrangler, they don't do that because nobody uses it. Simplify production. Overall, though, this color, it's a high velocity yellow. I love this color. It would be in my driveway in a heartbeat. Kelly behind the camera knows I like loud, obnoxious colors, and this would be it. They're actually doing half doors in these vehicles now, which I love. Yeah. It gives you a little bit of the outdoor feel. It's a little bit lower, so if you're on the trails, you kind of feel like maybe you don't want tube doors, or maybe you just don't want the doors off. So you kind of get that cool feel of that. It's light as can be. And
well, that's the thing too. Like, you got to be light if you take them off. And then I've had vehicles where I've done tube doors. I had an FJ Cruiser at an Overland Expo Summit, whatever. We doing some off-roading with it. Mm-hmm. My God, I was covered in dirt. The cab was covered in everything. I was like, can I just have a door? Like, I don't need the window up, right? But just everybody's like, tube doors are great. Well, they're great if you're not like going anywhere because it just gets demolished.
And it gives you, like with these tube doors here, it gives you a nice. You can just kind of hang your arm out, and that's kind of, I think, the appeal
that's
of
what I want. Or doors off. But know when you're doing doors off, that you're kind of making an agreement that says, I'm going to get this really dirty inside, or I'm going to be careful of what I'm going to do. But I think the tube door in between, it just wasn't a big hit for me.
Yeah. Now, being a truck guy, Tim, we got to look at the bed. You're the truck expert here. So what do we got going on here, man?
Man, this is a tiny bed. I think what was it, 5 foot maybe? Not even that. I mean, it's a small mid-sized truck. It feels like it's a smaller bed when I just look at it. We have the power inboard, the 400 watts of cargo, which is interesting. Jill brought this up in one of our videos, and I can show that one more time. It's right here. It's a little plug-in. You actually activate it inside. And Jill, managing editor Jill, she works for me on Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. She brought it up. She goes, where's the 4xe version of this?
Yeah.
There's not a 4xe version. It only comes in one powertrain, a 3.6 liter V6. And I bring that up because I think, for me, that 400 watt of power isn't enough.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of guys in the trails and stuff, I did a video once where I plugged in my compound miter saw, and I can't cut through a 2x4 with that much power.
Yeah.
Right? So to me, it's like, if you're going to do a 4xe, why don't you do the 4xe version of this to give more power in the bed so that true overlanding crowd, the true beach go or whatever, has more power in the bed.
Yeah, and when you're traveling off-road long distances, the more electric you have, the better it is, because everybody has a coffee maker now or something that or Timmy needs to plug in his iPad all the time.
Right.
We live in a modern world that needs electricity, unfortunately, and they did away with the diesel in this truck, which was a sad day. I know it wasn't a real popular option, but it's still sad that we're losing options in motors. We know electrification's coming, like you were saying, but naturally they should have taken the diesel, taken that away, put a hybrid system in this, and I think it would have been great.
Yeah, I think this and the 4xe could live on longer. I do have concerns like you do where, you know, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, the market's so weird right now, and who knows?
Well,
Trucks are really popular, but yeah.
I call this the Swiss Army knife of trucks because it can do just a little bit of everything. Not great at everything, but it does it. And Tim, taking this out, I know you get these on press loans. Take the top off sometime, go to the hardware store. It's the funnest experience ever, you know, till it's the winter. Not in your winters. Don't do it in your winters. But
my Nebraska winters, man, you put a little bit of coat on, you're fine. I mean, and the thing is back here, the thing I love about Jeeps is Jeep, unlike other brands, Toyota, has this thought that says we're going to get stuck, and let's get recovery points to get stuck. Let's give you more ground clearance. Let's cut this bumper back a little bit. Make this a steel bumper to take the beating. Let's really make this so it's recovering. So the thing is, like, when you off-road, it's not about if you get stuck, it's when you get stuck and what do you do? That's the biggest question. How do you get out of there?
Well, this brand, out of all brands, they know their audience the best. They really do. Like Jeep knows their audience, and they know exactly what they want. Let's get in the interior of this thing because I'm curious, did they make any changes in the inside of this for 24? All right, Tim, new is this big screen here, and I have to say thank you because our Gladiator had the little 7.5-inch screen, and it was tiny. The system they use, what is their Connect 4, Connect 5? Uconnect, it's great. I prefer their system over a Ford system right now, but the tiny screen in a modern world just kind of stunk when you were out driving and you're like, well, where's that micro? Okay, there's the little dot to choose my selection. We now get a bigger screen, and we've seen this screen in the Wrangler, but finally Gladiator gets the update, right?
Yeah, and as you get older, I know it's hard for you to see things on a smaller screen, so
it's true.
It's helpful for you.
You'll get there.
Yeah, I'm still 29, it's fine. They also did the full layout, like the same Wrangler, so it copied it, so it's more of a linear kind of layout with the vents on the side, double stitching there. I think it's a good layout. They went digital display here. Everything's the same across all the lineup. There's no the lower model gets something different, whatever. It's all the same, which from a consumer standpoint and from a manufacturing standpoint just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And we still have our real volume knobs, which I love about Jeep. Things are really big. We have the big shifter, the big four-wheel drive shifter, the big shifter. Everything is just, it's like, you're going to be off-road, you're going to be, messy, your fingers will be sweaty, what's going on? You just need something big to grab hold of, not little teeny tiny volume knobs.
Yeah. No, and this really, the center here, this didn't really change any at all that I can tell. Definitely different materials up here is nice. Of course, you got an airbag back here, so they need that obviously in an accident to split. But they could have just had this ugly line here, but they really accented it and made it feel like it's a part of the vehicle. Now they did change some of. I know Jeep guys love to put attachments all over their dash. They did change some of this stuff, but I know companies are already adapting to that, which is nice. The biggest thing, airbags. They put a lot of airbags.
Yeah, there's new airbags here. There's new airbags everywhere. I remember the CEO was talking about. He goes, "I haven't tested them out yet, but I know their airbags are there." And I'm like, "Probably good you haven't tested those out, because then your driving skills there." I
have to say, Jeep, out of both brands, if you're going to compare, this is basically a Wrangler. Might as well say. The sound system in this thing sounds so much better than Ford. Like they know their audience. They know their audience wants some nice sounding tunes. Of course, you got the sport bar across here, which does allow for bigger speakers. But ultimately, a lot of the layout, I prefer this over our Bronco that we have. Now, room wise, Bronco. I think you had mentioned that before recording this, that you felt like you get a little bit more space, right?
Yeah, the Bronco's a little bit wider. I can definitely live with the Bronco a little bit better. I think for 4 people, it's just that width. I don't really want Jeep to change their width, but on the one hand, because it's such an iconic shape. Yes. On the other hand, it's like you get in the Bronco and you're like, man, elbow room and I can fit better, and the footwells are wider. Everything about it seems like it fits me better. But you can't get away from the Jeep brand.
Yeah. Well, this thing is an icon. Of course, it being in the Gladiator, the truck form. You do truck things with it and towing and stuff. And I know tow numbers are not out just yet.
Right. Yeah, we had a guy ask me a bunch of questions on the channel about that. Where are the towing numbers for this stuff? Well, this is a pre-production unit. We don't have a label on the door. Yeah. We don't know payload. We don't know towing. Those details are coming. This is their first kind of prototype of what they're going to put out.
Yeah, but overall, I think it's a home run for the brand. Sales on Gladiator have been kind of stagnant here lately. I think it's because people knew when they announced the new Wrangler front end and all that.
Yeah, people were like, hey, what's going on? Yeah.
I'm going to wait because this right here, I'm telling you, was worth the wait. I really think having a nice monitor up there is going to be nice now. And this being the X platform, you get everything. You're loaded with full of goodies.
You got lockers, Offroad Plus mode, which you talked about, was like locking the front locker when you end four high. I mean, that people like that stuff too. I mean, there's a lot of features that heated steering wheel, heated seats. Yeah. You get all the which make you pay the money for, but.
But I think ultimately, I think this thing is a home run for the Jeep brand, and hey Jeep, send us one so we can go take it to Windrock and experience it properly. But ultimately, I think for the price point of this vehicle, it's got no real competition generally, but they are getting expensive, right?
They are getting expensive. I mean, it's an interesting vehicle in that from a CAFE standpoint, it's not very good on fuel. Yeah. It's not very good on emissions. We were really talking about the price point getting higher, and some questions we had in the media, like, is this the last generation of it? Like you had brought up, like when they first came out with this, like 7 years ago, I thought it was really cool. I think it was like, seven been that way, but how many years has it been? I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments. But when they first came out, I was like, okay, this is a limited run edition. Yeah. And then they've slowly kind of kept selling them, and people like them, and it makes sense, right? So, if I want that off-road Wrangler kind of vibe, but I need a bed because I want to haul something or I want to put something in the back, you have that. In the Jeep Wrangler, you don't have much room in the back for storing anything. So I think that makes sense, but then you start adding these features, start getting the price point up there, and I think what Jeep's doing here is smart. What they're saying is we're going to build this all the way out, build a top of the line model, give you all these features and stuff, and then we're going to say, hey, who's going to buy it? Yeah. If people don't buy it, we'll take it back down. If people will buy it, we'll keep it right there. Brands are doing that time and time again. People are like always on the channel going, who can afford this stuff? Who can afford that stuff? Well, I said,
somebody can.
They wouldn't build it if they didn't buy it, and so that's what they're doing. And I think this is the case for that. I do like what Jeep's done. I think the capability has always been spot on right there, and I think it's a fun vehicle.
Yeah, and I think the savior of this vehicle was if Ford actually builds a Bronco truck, then they keep this around. If Ford never comes out with a truck in the next couple of years, I think this just disappears. Unfortunately, because I like having a ton of off-road vehicle options, and it would be sad to lose something like this. So that is it in the new 2024 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon X, man. Could these names get any longer?
I think they have more alphabet letters.
Well. So whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, it doesn't matter what you drive. Don't lose the options. Stay around a little, buddy. We're out. Peace, everybody. Love y'all.